Okay, a couple of important things I wanted to talk to you guys about that I didn't know. I'll turn the fans off for you so you quit yelling at me for having the fans on in the background, but just know I'm sweating. Just make you feel bad. I'm going to take this thing apart, not apart, but take the side panel off here and sort of show you some of the things that are important about pressure washers that I didn't know that I learned from Dan at Kranzle. You know, what I've always done with my 1122 TST over here, what I've always done is you just sort of use whatever wand came with the Kranzle or whatever sort of gun I use. I eventually got the MTM M407 and then put either like a little quick nozzle on it or used you know, some sort of lance or wand to go with it. And then I thought adjustment was only done via the little red knob that's on the thing. So here is the unloader valve on the pressure washer right here. And so what I've done, and then there's of course a gauge on the front of the pressure washer, so what I've always done is just sort of adjust the unloader valve, which essentially bypasses the flow of water in order to reduce the sort of the pressure output. The problem with doing that is you're reducing the flow, you're reducing the water output of the unit. So this is a 1500 psi unit. So is it 15 or 16? I think it's 1600. 1600 psi unit, or maybe it's 14. Whatever. 14 to 1600 psi. I would reduce it down to 1000 or 1200 or 800 or 900, depending on what I was doing. And the disadvantage of doing that, of course, is you're reducing flow, so that would hurt with foaming and things like that. So the smarter thing to do is to adjust the unloader valve for maximum output, so run the pressure washer at maximum PSI output, maximum gallons per minute output, and then you'll run a different orifice or a different nozzle on the end of the unit. And so I'm gonna talk you through that here today to maximize sort of the output of my 165STS. So the unloader valve is on the side of this one, you know, behind this little panel. So there's three Phillips screws. And so all you have to do is take the side off. And what I had done, and I'll show you this a little closer here. So what I had done is turn the unit on and start spraying until I get sort of the desired PSI output. And so I'm running at around 1000. So when I go pull the lever on the gun, then the pressure washer would run at 1000 PSI because I adjusted the unloader valve on the side. All right, so here's the pump. A vaunted German-made, super high quality, self-priming Kranzle pump. And so here is the valve, the unloader valve that we need to use, that we need to adjust in order to get sort of maximum flow. The basic idea here is that the water comes into the pressure washer, goes through the pump, and then the pump, you have a choice. You can unload some of the pressure or divert some of the water, and so the diversion of the water will reduce the sort of pressure output, and you can sort of watch the gauge here. So I'm going to basically turn the thing on and adjust the pressure to make sure I'm turning it the right way. So notice I've diverted the pressure to run it right at 1200 psi. So what that does is it diverts the flow. So it reduces the gallon per minute output. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to adjust the pressure to get maximum output, and then what I'll do is I'll just change the tip. So now I'm running at 2,000 PSI. The Kranzle, the 165 STS is 2.8 gallons per minute output. The 1122, which are sort of my two sort of recommended machines because they're what I bought and what I have. But the 1122 has a 2.1, I think it's 2.1 gallon per minute output. So if you go to pretty much any like MTM's website or any website that deals with pressure washers, there's generally a matrix or a chart, a spreadsheet that will show you what size orifice you need in order to get the desired pressure. So again, I like to run at 1,000 or say 1,200 psi, 1,000 psi roughly, and so I just rounded up on the unit and said it's 3 gallons per minute, and I got the 6.0 orifice. So this is the MTM pack. It's like 22 bucks. And I always run, I don't even know why, I don't really need all of these, but I always run the white one, which is the 40-degree output. So this is a 40-degree quick connect. You can always tell what the orifice size, because this says 40060, so 40,060. So the 40 is the 40-degree, and then the 60 is the orifice size. We'll see. I might have rounded up, so I might only be running 800 psi now with this. Just wanted to sort of test it and see how it worked. They make these in 4.5, 5.5, 5, 6, 7, 8, all the way up. So depending on the size of your pressure washer, the output of your pressure washer, and your desired output, on what size orifice you need. So again, the better way to do this is to not adjust the unloader valve. It's to adjust the orifice rather than doing it the other way. See, I always just assumed that the adjustment on the pressure washer, the best way to adjust pressure was to mess with the button that's on the side, or the valve that's on the side of the thing. Instead, we're better off changing the very end of the wand, or the end of the gun. I actually think I probably want to run probably a 5, not a 6. This feels a little softer than I'd like. The interesting thing is going to be to see how well it foams here in a minute. Actually, the good news, I didn't realize this, but the gauge actually tells me what pressure I'm running with the orifice, which makes sense. I don't know why I didn't think of that. So I'm still running with the 6.0. I'm running at just shy of 1,200 psi, which is exactly what I want. Perfect. So just when I thought I knew everything there was to know, or not everything there was to know, but everything I needed to know for pressure washers, Dan blew up my brain and said, dude, you're doing this all wrong. Or you're not doing it correctly anyway. And so I had to I really wasn't listening to him when he was telling me what I need to do. I had to get my mind right the next morning after we were emailing back and forth. And figure out what was what the heck is he talking about. And then when I looked at some of the charts they sent me, or spreadsheets he sent me, it just made perfect sense. So let's I'll probably wash a car now, but this will be this video, and we'll keep talking pressure washers as time goes on here.